Look at all these choices. I love a good buffet. Hi, I'm Dan Krutka. I'm going to be your instructor in EdFound. You're probably wondering, what's EdFound? EdFound is the class you enrolled in. You just didn't know that was its name. I've kind of renamed it. I think EdFound really captures the spirit of our class. We're going to find and discover and explore things about education. And it is an educational foundations class, so that's also the hashtag we're going to use a lot this semester, hashtag EdFound. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. First, I'm a former high school teacher. I taught social studies classes to sophomores, juniors, and seniors in Oklahoma City for 6 years. I loved every year of it. I had such a blast, and when I left to do teacher education at university level, it was tough. It was tough, but I luckily have come to love this too, and I really love working with pre-service teachers, so I'm excited to not only work with but learn from you this semester. So a couple things I want to talk about. First is, what's this buffet doing back here? Well, I've used green screen technology. I have this set up in my office to create kind of fun videos, and I think green screen is a way that we can create media in fun ways. I believe in creating all kinds of authentic media, like podcasts and green screen videos and blog posts and all kinds of other stuff. And so we're going to do a bit of that this semester. I hope you're up for it. But I think in the 21st century, these are the types of ways that students learn. They don't just learn by reading and writing, certainly not just out of textbooks or worksheets or things like that. It's time to create stuff, and we're going to do a bit of that in this course. So the reason that I've got a buffet back here is the foundations course is very much like a buffet. Every week we're going to explore a new topic, so we're just going to get a little bit of a taste of a lot of important topics in education, from how public schooling came to be through the Common Schools movement, to understanding desegregation and understanding assessment a little bit better, or maybe we'll explore how different learners, the different needs the different types of learners have. And so we're going to explore a bunch of topics, and each week we'll have a different topic. So I hope you're ready to dig in and learn a bit with me. Let's talk a little bit about the course that I created to help guide us on our learning journey. All right, so I just shifted from using my iPad to record myself on my green screen over here on the wall, and now I'm using a program called Screencast-O-Matic to make it's a program that's really good for recording whatever's on the screen of your computer, and you can have your image in kind of the corner of the screen. And so you can see I have iMovie up because I was just creating the part of our movie, so it's a little inside on what we're doing. But now what I want to do is talk a little bit more about some of the specifics of our course. And so for our course, what I've done is I've created a website. The website address is educationalfoundations.wordpress.com. This is basically where we're going to be doing everything this semester. Let me real quickly just kind of explain why I created this website. The first reason is that course management systems like Blackboard can be great for learning, and I think a lot of professors use them really well, so I'm not critical of them. But for me personally, I'm always really interested in learning by doing. And one of the best ways to learn how to use technology is to use it. And so the problem with course management systems like Blackboard is they're like crutches for people using technology. They do all the work for you. You don't have to learn anything. In my course, you are going to have to learn a few things. And I'm not a techie. I learn all this stuff just by Googling and experimenting and asking people questions. And I think you can do it too, but I'm here to support you every step of the way. If you think you're technologically challenged, let's set up a meeting and let me help you. Don't think you don't have support. I'm here for you. The other reason is that I really believe in open learning. I believe in sharing our learning. And so in this course, you're going to create what's called authentic media. I'm going to ask you to write your assignments for a wider educational or public audience instead of act like you're writing them just for me to read. But your classmates will be reading them, but maybe even a few of your friends or some other educators will start to read some of your tweets and your blog posts or see a video or a podcast you make. How far you go is kind of up to you. You're going to get more out of it, I think, the more you put into it. But I'm here as a resource for you. Okay, so let's talk about the website real quick. This is what the website looks like. I created this using WordPress, and you're going to be using WordPress in this course. You can see I have Twitter hashtag that I added to the side. There's a lot of extra things. Making this look good was kind of difficult, but and just took a little playing around. Actually, I wouldn't say difficult, just took some playing around. But the key thing for this course that you need to understand is on this front page is what the number one thing you need to understand is every week here, or as I like to often call them, module, all you're going to do is you're going to click on that week, and then that's going to be your activities and tasks you're going to complete for the week. And so if you just scroll down, read this page, and complete the tasks it asks you to complete, you've got it. If there's anything else on this website you're asked to do, there's going to be a link or instructions on this page that help you. So during week 1, if you're like, I don't know what to do, this course is confusing, just go to week 1 and start reading down the page and completing the tasks. It's really that simple. But hopefully you've started with the Start Here video. This is always good in a course management system to have real clear instructions, and students should always know what's about to happen. And then you can see I have a lot of tabs. So let's look at course information real quick. So there's a lot of things. First thing, updates. If you would like to receive updates on when I add things to the course or when I make changes or things like that, you can actually go right here on the website and you can follow the blog by putting in your email address, and you'll get updates from the site. And this will be stuff like I'll say, hey, the quiz is posted, or this module is now up and available. And so if you want those updates, you can get them. If you just want to get stuff as it comes up, then you don't have to get the updates. It's up to you. You can see I have a little bit of a bio here. There's actually I am a co-host on a podcast in the first episode, which should be showing up here. It's acting a little funky, but if I refresh it, it should start to show up. I'm a host a podcast called Visions to Education with a high school teacher, Michael Milton, and it's really kind of like our course. We delve into a lot of important topics in education, and the very first episode I talk a little bit about the work that I've been doing, and so if you want to learn more about me, you can listen to that, or you can read my bio. Week 1, you're going to be writing your own little bio on your own website, so you're going to get that started. You can see the syllabus is available here, so you just need to go to your course. The one key thing to understand about this class is I'm going to have 2 set classes using this, EDUC 5113 and EDUC 2003. One is an undergraduate class, one is a graduate class. 95% of what the 2 classes do are very similar. So you can find the syllabus here. The undergrad syllabus will be added shortly. The course text, as I talked about, is Dana Goldstein's The Teacher Wars. One of the great things about it is it's not only available in paperback, it's available in ebook on like Kindle, or you can get it on Audible and listen to it as an audiobook. So if you are a commuter and you want to listen to it, you can do that. I also have very detailed notes, and so you could listen to it and then go back and look at the specifics by looking at my notes. And I have notes on almost the whole book. I'm going to add the last couple chapters this semester, so that could hopefully really help you have another medium by which you can listen to the book. But either way, the book should be easy to get, and so if you have any questions, let me know. So this has a little bit of information and a little video about the Dana Goldstein. If you want to see her talking, I've got a little information there. Other readings for the course, there is a password on this. I'm going to give you the password on Blackboard, and I'll send it in an email to make sure you know. Several pages will have a password. That means only you can access it. The password is the same for every single page, but when I type in that password, I will be able to go in and access a bunch of other readings. The reason these readings are in this space is because they are copyrighted, and so I can't put those up publicly for everyone. If you go to writing guidelines, you're going to look at this in week 1. The writing guidelines has information about the format we'll use, which is APA. I have examples here. I have where you can get writing assistance from the TW Write site, and then I have some other ideas to share. Just email and online netiquette that can be helpful for people as they start to think of themselves as professionals. Many of you may already do so, but it's an issue that comes up occasionally, and I kind of point people to this page to think about how they come across in emails and other online communication. And then the last thing here is writing for an authentic audience. I'm going to really drive this point home early in the first few weeks of the course. Whenever you write stuff for our course, I don't want it to sound like it's for our course. I want to sound like you are just reading The Teacher Wars because you're excited about education and you're going to be an educator. You were writing a tweet about an article because you read the article. This is going to be an opportunity to practice kind of trying on that professional role as a teacher. And so you're going to write for an authentic audience in this course. There's some other stuff. Avoiding plagiarism. Plagiarism is absolutely not tolerated in this class. If it comes up, it could lead to you potentially failing the class, and we will certainly have a meeting. So I take that very seriously, and I hope you do too. And then I've got some other stuff below here that you can look at if you want to. So there's a lot of information just about some of the basics here. Grading rubrics, I'm considering possibly taking this tab off. We'll see, but I may add all the grading rubrics for the course here. It's just kind of repetitive because I also have the grading rubrics over near the assignments. High leverage practices is something that I'm going to have at the bottom of each week. One thing I want to make sure that you're able to do in this course is to think about the specific work you're going to have to do as a teacher. And so I've incorporated what are called high leverage practices, which are just the specific things teachers do every day, like leading a discussion or helping to understand student thinking and things like that. And so I have a little bit more information on it, but I'm going to continue to add to this page throughout the semester. But you'll see it as you come across it, and in week 1, you're going to delve into it. All right, so how do you know what to do for this class? Well, if you just click on schedule on the actual schedule button here at the top, you're going to see here is a tentative schedule. Of course, every week you're just going to every week you're just going to complete what it tells you to complete on each page. But if you want to get an overview, you can look at the schedule. I'm actually updating it because I try to improve the course every single semester, and I do that throughout. So I'm in the process of updating it. You can see I've been doing a little thing here where I label the different tasks, module 1, and task 4 right here, so that if you want to reference, you're saying, hey, I was really confused about module 1 task 5, and so it would help us to maybe communicate a little bit. So you can see I'm updating these. I actually am going to start going in and updating the rest of the weeks. This should get you through week 1, but you'll see this updating as you see these module 1 T1, module 2 T1, T2. As you see those coming up, you'll know that that calendar has been updated. But this is a calendar that's pretty accurate for everything we're doing this semester. It'll just be minor changes here and there. So if you have questions, you can let me know, but I'll be working on this over the next week too. And then you can see all of the weeks. And so you'll just go click on different weeks throughout the semester. Currently, I closed down most of these weeks while I revamp them and just make little updates so you're not confused. But module 1 is open. Okay, so what are you doing to start this course? Well, you can see the compelling question, and this course is going to be driven by a question every week that in whatever you create, I want you to consider that question. What makes great teaching? That's our first compelling question. And so if you scroll down this page, there's a lot of information to think about. I start by talking about the compelling questions. I want you to read through and think about those, the ones we're going to explore all semester. And then I go through and I've got the starting video is going to go here. I'm going to replace my old one and put the new one here. And then you'll familiarize yourself with the course site. You're going to create your own WordPress site. Luckily, I link you to a tutorial to help you do that. If you need additional help, you should email me as soon as possible. You will post your first WordPress post, which you can do either as a blog post or you can do as a page on your site. And hopefully by the end of the tutorial video, you'll understand the difference between those two. That post is going to be 500 words. This is a little different than the rest of our posts this semester. When you write longer posts, which you'll only do a few times this semester, they'll actually be 800 words. And I really have pretty high expectations for what you're able to do there. You're going to set up a professional Twitter account. I'm actually not even going to make you tweet this week, but if you want to get some practice, the class hashtag we're going to use is EdFound, and then we're also going to use EdChat. I've got a great tutorial on Twitter, so if you know a lot about Twitter, great. If you want to know more about how educators use Twitter, go over to the tutorial and check it out. If you don't know anything about Twitter, then go to the tutorial for sure. You're going to read the introduction to the Teacher Wars. If you're a graduate student, if you're an undergraduate student, you will notice it says right here that you do not have to do this. Always pay attention here. Unless it says you do not have to do something, you should assume. Then you'll see this is really important. Week 1, task 8, you have got to submit your paperwork to be able to go into schools, whether you're an undergraduate working in Denton ISD at one of our 2 schools for mentoring, or whether you're a graduate student who's going in and doing field observations and work in a variety of schools. You need to get this done as quickly as possible. So do not delay on that. That's an important part of the course, and if you don't get it completed, it could result in you not being able to pass the course or get the grade that you would want. There will be a quiz. Quizzes are usually added on Thursdays before midnight. So usually I'll give you a few days to look at the module and then I add the quiz up. So I'm going to add that in the next couple of days. And you'll see task 10 is arranged to take a content test. This is for our graduate students. So I need to add that note here, and I will. That's for graduate students only, that you need to take a content test early on so that we can determine some of your future courses and prepare you for the program. The bottom, there's a checklist. If there's ever anything missing or any confusion, please let me know. And then you can go to click for the next module there. And so that's kind of how the modules work. That's module 1. I hope you enjoy it. The other ones, I think we just delve into a lot of interesting topics in this class, and I'm really excited about it. Once we get things set up, With this link will take you to a page where all of your blogs will be linked, and that's how you will access each other's blogs in the page in this course. So if you write a blog post and you're like, how are other students going to get to it? We're going to have a calendar. It'll tell everyone when you're posting, and then they can go and choose to read your post and comment on it. And commenting will be one of the assignments that we'll have in this course. So that's where that will go, and I'll have that updated once I get all your websites and information from you. And so then over here you can see here's information about the different assignments. So as you start to complete the assignments, you will click on these different links to learn. Now, if you're saying, I'm going to forget to go there, everything on the weekly modules will tell you to go there. It'll remind you to go there to do things. But blog posts and comments and video conferencing are something that'll happen throughout the semester. Every week we're going to have a quiz to make sure you're kind of keeping up with some of the basics. It's just kind of a spot check to see that you're getting some basic stuff down. It's not meant to be to grasp your full knowledge. We have a social media assignment. We'll be using Twitter for that this semester, but I'm also going to ask you really to reflect on your own social media practices, and I'm excited about that. It's an assignment that I created with another teacher educator, and so we'll talk about that a little bit more. And here's all your information about field experiences, whether you're a grad student or you're mentoring if you're an undergrad. Makeup assignments should generally only apply to the undergraduate students, and there'll be information about final projects. Then over here, I've got a lot of tutorials. Some of these tutorials you will not have to use. You don't have to do Audacity. You don't necessarily have to do several of these things. Just follow the instructions throughout the course and you'll see. I included tutorials for things you may not have to do because I want you to explore it. And if you want to take a chance and do a podcast instead of doing a post, you can replace a lot of that written work with creating media. And so you'll have the option in this class. I will encourage you to do some of this, but the two things that you will have to do in this course is WordPress and Twitter. And so those are things that you'll have to do. Some of these other ones will be optional, but I will have those available as things you can do. So these two tutorials I expect you to use. So that's our website.